Hello, everybody. My name is Bear, and this is Friendly Neighborhood Gamers. Today we're doing solo board game Friday, and the game we're playing is I am a low average. Damn goats, that hurts my feelings. That's gonna be a problem. Fuck. Is it still low even with that close? No, I did not go to Fragon Con. Sounds like a play on Dragon Con. Oh no, I have gone to Dragon Con before, but it's not recently, not in the last couple of years. I think it was well before COVID. Well, good because I got the microphone in my mouth just about, so I'm hoping that'll be good. I do play Burning Wheel. We are doing a Saturday, well, not every Saturday, but we're currently doing our first season of a stream. So that's probably where you followed me from. If you do Burning Wheel, I think we're probably about 50% done with our first season of a recorded play that we're doing. So yeah, for intents and purposes of possible. I know I posted on Reddit a couple of times. We were trying to do a live stream of Burning Wheel, where the viewers would be able to vote at the end for Artha and whatnot. But the location that we chose was in a basement, and we could not live stream from it. So we were just recording the first season, and then once we get done with the first season, I'll put it onto YouTube, and then we will, from there, start doing our second season in a location that we can actually live stream from and get audience participation. That is the plan. I did not touch that. Why did it change? All right, well, I'm going to do a hard start for my sake. I'm going to play an intro, so it's not going to change anything for you guys. This will look black for a second, just so that when I put this on YouTube, I have a place to cut it. Play an intro. Hello, everybody. My name is Bear, and this is Friendly Neighborhood Gamer. Today we're doing a solo board game day, and we're playing Earthborne Rangers, the Lore of the Valley scenario. We are on day 7. We just had a huge problem with flooding. I was able to save most of the area, but not get everywhere. And then my trainer, Calypsa, pulled me back to the lake, showed me that these weird creatures came up on shore, and asked me to go to the Spire. On my way back to the Spire, I decided, because she gave me 4 days to figure it out, so I'm not due there till the 10th. It's the 7th now. The 6th, I was able to kill the caustic mulcher, which has been this like creature that's been roaming the woods around our home village. I was able to kill it. I chose to kill it instead of trying to understand it because it beat the hell out of me one session, and I was like, nope. And chat chose violence over everything else. So I'm currently back in Kobo's Market. That's where my day ended last time. My goal, grab my map here so you guys can see it if I share my screen. We are currently at Kobo's Market, and we literally just have to go one over to the Spire. So it's a pretty short trip. I'm excited to go and knock out this next part of the quest to see what it is. But without further ado, I will get started. Trying really hard not to have my beard rub against the microphone. All right. It is not going great. So Kobo's Market is in the plains. It's I'll put this on the screen here so that y'all can see it. That's what the art looks like on the card. And I agree, it's just ASMR. Thanks, Rumbled. So it's in the plains area. There's a lot of predators here, and there's a lot of tall grass, which really slows me down. Mark that this is day 7, and we're just on the way to the Spire. That's the main thing with solo gaming, is that you just want to make sure that you are keeping up with the bookkeeping portion of it, because solo gaming, if you forget to do it, there's nobody else to hold you accountable. Or like you have a bunch of friends, normally somebody will remember while you're playing. Solo gaming, you are the only one doing it, unless I have viewers like you guys. All right, so I'm drawing my initial hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me make sure you guys can see me, because that would be bad to do that whole thing. There you go. You can see my play area. I drew into a thorough, astute, bold, one with nature, an Orland Thumper, and a second astute. So I have a weapon. I'd really like to get Quiet out, but she is the lynx I've made a friend with. And then Kobo's Market, arrival setup. Search the path deck for the next feature and put it into play. Searching from the bottom. Harvester Anthill is the first feature I pull up. It's a great feature for this situation because I don't really want to hang out here very long. I want to go ahead and head to the next area so we can get the quest moving. And as long as you don't poke the anthill, it doesn't have a lot of presence, so you can move past it pretty easily. All right, so we've got the feature out. Again, I'm not going to lollygag around. It's still, currently the weather is still downpouring, so there are bad things. Like it's on the bad side when you start. According to the quest tracker, it's going to be downpouring for one more day. So I've just got to deal with this, and if I can get into the Spire, maybe it won't be so bad. So that is up the road. So it is an obstacle, or a feature, and it is an obstacle. So I need to deal with it before I can go over there, or I need to exhaust it. All right, so starting off, we go to the round structure path cards. So each ranger draws one, so I draw one card. Oh, geez, that's another anthill. I'm like, it's just a short jaunt over here to the Spire, and it's like the anthill. All right, I want to make sure that I have to deal with that with the keyword obstacle. I believe I do. I don't want to. I would rather go ahead and get to the thing I want to deal with, but that's not how life works when it gives you obstacles. No, there it is. I was like, I know it has a 27. You cannot interact with a card if a ready card with obstacle keyword is between you and that card. All right, so I would need to exhaust this, which thankfully I have. It says exhaust one being. Oh, geez, these are not beings. It's a feature, food, or feature, food, and obstacle. So I think I played that wrong last time. Somebody will get at me in the comments. I'm excited to hear that. So I need to clear out these anthills and or move out of the way. So, if I want to connect, it's a spirit and a heart. I have one heart, so that test is going to be really difficult for me. So I guess today I choose violence. So I'm going to equip my Orland Thumper. It is not the best tool for the job, but it's what I got. Let's see if I can get something better before I do that, actually. I'm going to remember my training focus. I have 2 focus tokens. I'm going to spend my first one, and I'll spend an astute. So that's a total of 3. This should be on the bottom there. Flipping over my first test, I got a 0. Perfect. Mountain. The anthill has a mountain. If there's an active hungry scroff, there is not. So nothing happens. Perfect. The weather is on a sunny day. So I got a 3. I get to look at the top 3 cards on my deck. 1, 2, and 3. And I got another Orland Thumper, Nature's Abundance, and Persuasive. I'm going to put all 3 of those on the bottom as I scout it. This goes into my discard. Spent, and I draw the next card. Again, when you scout and look through your deck, you look at the number of successes you get, and you can take those cards and put them on the top or the bottom of the deck, and just put them all on the bottom. I drew into a second thorough. I am looking for something to easily murder these because connecting is not my strong suit. I didn't spec into that direction. Instead, I went, you guessed it, fighting more. But Chad has helped me with that, helping me choose violence. So I'm using my second focus. I'm going to use my second astute. So again, I'm at 3. Pulling my card. Oh, geez, that's the worst one. -2. So my 3 goes down to 1. Bad thing symbol. I don't see any bad things out here. So that gets put over here. It's got to be shuffled. And my scouting of 3 goes down to a scouting of 1. So I get to look through the top 1 card of my deck and put it on top or bottom. Exciting. I just was like, yeah, it's a short walk over to this other area. All right, so I drew into favorite gear. That's not what I'm needing right now. I need either my trowel or quiet. So I'm putting that on the bottom and then drawing the top card. Hey, look at that, my trowel. So the trowel is a little more aggressive than the Orland Thumper. The Thumper does 1 damage no matter how many successes you get, whereas the trowel has a strike of 2, and I can deal a damage for every 2 effort. But if I fail, I take an injury. Whereas the Orland Thumper, I get fatigued. So higher risk, higher reward type of situation. I will instead equip my trowel. The other thing that I'm not telling you guys just yet is that these anthills, its presence is X, and X is equal to the number of damage on them. So if I attack them, I need to kill them because they're going to be, once you kick an anthill, they get kind of pissy. All right, I've equipped my trowel. I'm out of actions. I have 2 more things here, but again, I can't interact with the area. That's what I would need to do for that. And spirit, I feel like that's my weakest suit, so I'm not going to try to connect with these anthills. So I'll restart my turn, travel. I have nothing on my area, so I go to refresh. I put all these back on my card. I draw a card, which I drew into my Gauze Blade, which is actually pretty powerful, so it might be the thing I needed to use. But I stand corrected. My Gauze Blade is only good for a being. It's not good for it has to kill like an actual sentient being or something with a soul. Who knows? Whereas my Carbon Forge trowel can be used to kill anything. So that's the refresh. We go to the path cards. I draw the next path card. Oh, a Hungry Scroff. This is the first time drawing that. Let's take a gander at the artwork. because I know there's another one somewhere in here so that you guys can look at the artwork. It says, oh, it's a being, predator, prey, and mammal. When you interact with this being, you may discard one token from an equipped food to commit one effort. So you can feed it because it's a piggy and it's hungry. Yeah. I'm curious what the anthills do. If there is one or more, if there is an active hungry scruff, exhausted, add tokens to it and damage to this feature, both equal to the scruff's presence. So the scruff will destroy these anthills for me. It'll be helpful, I guess. All right, and that is directly in front of me. So let's make sure my play area is clean and tidy. We've got, I don't want to fight it, and it deals damage equal to the to its presence. What does the scruff say? It says if there's another active predator exhausted, so it fights other predators on a mountain symbol, and if there's an active food or you have food equipped, oh geez, if there's an active food, which these are food, so geez, if I draw a bad thing from the deck, it'll attack me to defend the food. So our goal is to get mountains so that these things will kill it. I'm going to remember my training. So I need triangles. I don't have any triangles, but I'm kind of just hoping that I draw in the mountains so that the scruff here will attack. So I have one. Oh, I drew another one, but unfortunately I drew the bad symbol. It says, if there's an active food or you have food equipped, exhaust this being and suffer one injury. All right, well, I have my first injury of the session. I do not like this area. I've had not great luck with this area, whether it be from the tall grass or there's like these weird cat things that attacked me. But I did get +1, so I get to look at the top 2 cards of my deck. Another Gauze Blade. I'm almost hesitant to put that on top, but I'm really hoping to find Quiet because she is solid. I think I might not want to have this stupid pig out here, so I'm gonna spend 1 to equip my gauze blade. So for those keeping track at home, we have 2 from the trowel and 1 from the gauze blade. So out of the 5 slots that I have, I'm using 3 for weapons. All right, my second action. I guess my third, because I equipped that. I'm going to use my fiber. This has 4 fibers on it. Let me make sure I keep track of those. I'm going to use damage tokens for that because that's what they'll be doing, is dealing damage. So there's 4 uses on that. I'm going to do a fitness test. And I'm using fitness, and this is my last fitness token. I'm going to use a thorough, and it says I have to use 1 fiber because I'm using the weapon, and then it deals damage equal to my effort. So far I have an effort of 3. This little piggy has 4 health, so I'm going to try and knock it out of the park here. I have 1 thorough left. It has the link symbol that I need to fight. I'm going to use my Orland Thumper. So that's a total of 4. Let's see if we can win this. Oh, geez, -1. So -1, so I did 3 points of damage to the pig. But it is a mountain symbol, so it says, if there's an active hungry scoffed, exhaust it and add tokens to it and damage to this feature, both equal to the scroff's presence. So exhaust it it gets 2 tokens to clear it, but unfortunately I'm trying to murder it. And then it deals 2 damage, which I'm out of damage tokens because I'm using them for other things, to the harvester, or the harvester anthill. Mountain would also affect this one, but it exhausted the hungry scroff, so therefore I can't attack 2 of them. Now that it's exhausted, I'm going to use my other focus and try and remember my training. I don't have any triangles, so it is just a straight up 1 for 1. Let me make sure I'm clearing out my area here. Keeping my area tidy. 1 for 1. And I didn't get any negatives. Mountain, again, the only thing that has mountain are the things that are would be interacting with the card there. And it's already exhausted, so nothing. So I get to look at 1 card. Hey, it's quiet. I put it right back. And then after I get done scouting, I draw the card. So there's quiet. So again, quiet is my cat. I wouldn't call it a familiar. I'm not a mage or anything, but I did befriend it, and it kind of follows me around and protects me when I need her to. I do have a wombo combo, except for my ability as a guardian. I can reduce the presence of a being to 0 until the end of the turn. So I jump out and get the thing's attention, and then quiet comes in and kills it from the side, which is a pretty good combo. So I'm going to put that back in front of me. Next turn I have to equip it. I'll probably be able to kill that pig, and then we can slowly but surely get our way through these stupid anthills. All right, that's the end of my turn, because I'm not going to do anything else with that. Going down the thing here. Travel, I don't have any tokens in the travel thing. Refresh, I've already started that. Everything that's exhausted stands. And I draw a card. I drew into an intention translator, so I could try and mind meld or connect with these things and make a better connection. I'm not going to do it. Top of the round, I draw a card. It is a morning root. Hey, another food. That's great for our hungry scroff. He'll get more aggressive about it. Feature flora and food. And then I can use a fitness test with triangle to slice and share the tear-inducing vegetable to add a damage to this feature. I suffer a fatigue, and then I choose a ranger, and that ranger soothes 3 fatigue. I've not taken any fatigue this far, but because I am solo playing, it would be a net gain of 2. So I take 1, heal 3. I need to kill this guy, so I'm going to... First thing I'm going to do is spend 2 fitness and call out to my girl Quiet. Again, she's friendly, persuasive. She's a being, companion, mammal. And then I can exhaust her to deal 3 damage to something else. So, oh man, that sucks. The wording on this is that she can only attack other beings. And because the anthills are not technically beings, they're features, I can't use her to murder ants. But she can kill the pig. These obstacles are a pain in the butt. I want to get the hell out of these, out of the plains. So I'm going to exhaust my guardian card to make the pig's presence 0, and then I'll exhaust Quiet, and she'll pounce on the pig. You could be a big pig poop. Don't sue me, Disney. And I'll kill the hungry scruff. Frog insurance. Anyways. So I'm back to having to deal with these stupid anthills on my own. I do have Quiet out now, so she at least can help me. I do have a card in my deck that would let me use this plant to put items on the thing. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll focus, look through my deck. Let's see if I get no negatives, but I did get a sunshine. This is our third turn. I've forgotten to do this. 1, 2, and then the sunshine knocks off a third rain. Again, bookkeeping is important. Favored gear, I don't want favored gear. I put it on the bottom, and then I take the top card. Bold, that's my second bold. It would be really good to help me get out of this area if I could do that. I've used all of my fitness, so I can't attack these anthills. So I'm going to remember my training once more. I got 0, but I got the last sunshine. So this flips. I take another fatigue. And I look at the top of my deck. It's a persuasive. I don't want that. I'll put it at the bottom and hope that I get the card I want. Okay. Well, that's pretty nice. I might actually do that this turn. I drew into Nature's Abundance. Each ranger may add a damage to a flora to soothe 1 fatigue and gain 1 energy of any type. When damage is added to flora in this way, it may not exceed the flora's damage threshold. So you can't kill it, but you can definitely pick from it. I will do that. I'll put a damage on the tuber or the morning root here, which would then soothe the fatigue. So I draw a card. It's a boundary sensor. Not really useful, but it gives me a card. And gain 1 energy of any type. So I'll gain another focus so I can keep milling through my deck. That was my focus. So I'll spend my second focus. Sorry, that was for spirit. Send my second focus. I have now a 1. And I drew a 0. So that failed. If there's an active prey, exhaust, no. Man, I am just struggling through these plains. These ants are stopping me. This is embarrassing. It's like it's my first day or something. It's not. It's my 7th. Well, I'm out of energy. The last thing I can do is avoid exhaust 1 being. I wondered, I think it has to have the word being on it because, quiet has the keyword being, so therefore these would not be beings. I'm trying to find a way around this, but it's not working. All right, so are ready? Put all my tokens back. We're going to make this work. I draw my card. Another boundary sensor. I am surprised how often I draw the same card when I shuffle. Artelope. It's a being, prey, mammal. It's essentially like a dog and an antelope had a baby. It's a lowrider antelope. It's being, prey, and mammal. So if there was something, if I get sunshine, what is the keyword? So gathering storm, whenever I refresh, I add 2 rain to this card. So the storm has stopped for a moment, but it's still gathering. So 1 more turn and it'll flip back over to the bad side. And it'll start downpouring again. I just want to get out of here. I want to go to the Spire. Really just want to get away. All right. So let's remember our training. I'm looking for these cards. Do I have anything for that test? I need a triangle. The intention translator. I don't plan to do that, so sure. Boom, triangle. So I have 2. Let's see what the test gives me. 0. There is a lot of sunshine now. So it says if there's 1 or more tokens on this feature, so if I had tried to communicate with them, I would have slipped into the ground. So that doesn't affect anything. If there's an active card with 2 or more presents, there is. Shuffle this being into the path deck and draw 1 path card. That anthill has 2 presents. So apparently the artelopes are skittish, and if anything is too scary, they're like, hell no, I'm getting the hell out of here. Let's see what we draw instead. What new, fresh hell? It's another artelope. Cool. All right, so all that happened, and I have 2, so I could look at the top 2. Get another ancestral teaching and another intention translator. That was a little bit of feedback. Sorry, I took it off my head. Hey, I drew into my familiar ground. That's exactly what I was looking for. Because there's this one morning tuber out here, I think, oh, shoot, I need 4. It'll get me most of the way there. So I'll spend 1 to do familiar ground. It's my favored card. It essentially lets me put a damage onto a flora, which I'll do now. And then I get to put 3 onto the location to represent me jumping over something. I like the art too. I like the picture of the guy jumping over stuff. All right, so that goes on my discard. I do have another copy of that, so I'm going to try and see if I can draw into it and be real lucky. So there's 1. I don't have any more triangle. So I just get 1. Let's see what I draw here. It's a mountain, but I get +1 to my focus, so I'll get to take 2 cards and see if I can mill through it. Mountain, again, we've established that nothing like that. If there's an active predator, exhaust it and add damage to this being. So that doesn't happen. If there's an active hungry scoff, that doesn't happen. And then the tuber, it says, oh, I think I just killed the tuber when I did that. Because it only has 2 health. So never mind, this tuber's gone. Which is bad. I needed that. So I look at the top 2 cards, 1 with nature and another copy of quiet. The trowel, when I attack, uses the link symbol. Quiet has 2 link symbols, so if I want to fight my way through these things, I need links, so I'll pull quiet. If the flora has stayed out, I probably would have kept that familiar ground and just jumped over it, but since I accidentally murdered it by jumping on it, accidentally jumped on top of it like Mario and killed it, that is not the case. So, without further ado, I think I'll try and kill my first anthill using the trowel. So I'm going to have, let's clear our area here. I have 1. I need at least 2 to deal damage to it. I need to deal 2 damage to it, so I need 4 successes. This is risky, but risky for the bisky. That makes total sense in my head. If it doesn't to you, get good. Before I do that, retconning, I'm going to exhaust myself. I'm going to make this artelope present 0, and quiet is going to murder it. It means violently, so either it runs it away, however you want to flavor it, because it attacks it and makes it go away. So we have 1, 2, 3. I need a minimum of 4 to kill that anthill. I'm hesitant to play quiet because, again, that'll be 5 on the card, and that's pretty good odds. There is 1 -2 in there, but I'm going to play it safe. I'd like to finish this up. So that's 5 for the test. Let's see what the card gives us. All right, it gave me a 0. So I was hoping for a +1 if I was to be pushing my luck. I'm glad I didn't. So I take my trowel and I dig up this anthill and destroy it. Huzzah! One of two anthills blocking my way. Unfortunately, I am burning through my deck. This plains area is really difficult for me. I have no more fitness, and I will need fitness to get to the last portion. So I gotta pass again. I think this would flip over my, and it starts raining again, the weather card. Yep, it starts downpouring again. I know that's an old saying, when it rains, it pours, but that's what's happening essentially. Reset my tokens, reset all this, draw a card, another carbon forged trowel. Makes me think of Jason Asano and He Who Fights with Monsters in the first book, where he gets his first weapon is a trowel. And then top of the round, we draw a card. Oh, jeez. Blood Beckoned Valix. This looks like a fox to me. So it has ambush, keyword. It's a being, predator, mammal. If a ranger is injured, this being gains disconnected. Another keyword, I don't really know what it means. Let's find out. Disconnected. You cannot add progress to this card using the Connect common test. It smells my blood and cannot be dealt with normally. I must kill it. All right, so it has ambush, so I immediately take a card there. And it's a predator. I don't really like that art. It's a bit much. It does the job it needs to do. Got a wild look in its eyes. All right, so this is right in front of me. Don't worry, I'll kill it quick because I have just the ambushing part was a pain in the butt. So I do my wombo combo here where I exhaust my guardian. I take its presence from 2 down to 0, and then quiet. I exhaust quiet, and I put 3 damage, which is his whole health, and that's pretty good. It looks like a fox to me, like a rabid fox. So it jumps out, scares the shit out of me for a moment, but quiet's like, no, we ain't having that. So back to what I need to do here. I need to kill this anthill. I only have 1 heart, so I can't really try and connect with it. I have to destroy it. Unfortunately, the action requires links. I don't have any more links. So I'm going to try to remember my training. I feel like I do this a lot, but I'm burning through my deck quick. And I really just need to go one area over. And this entire day is just going to be me trying to get to the fields here and showing up all beat up and dirty. A random cool blue has showed up in chat and booped hammer a spammer. That rhymed. So I did 1. And testing that, -2. So I'm at, I lose that test. I need to shuffle these, and thankfully, I'd gotten rid of that creature, and it's no longer a problem for the bad thing on the card to affect us. I'm just shuffling the wrong thing. You gotta shuffle all the cards into the deck if you're gonna shuffle. You can't just shuffle your discard. Let's remember our training. Got 1, 0. So I get to do 1. Bad symbol. No, nothing has the bad symbol. And then I'd reshuffle this. So I'm just going to put it on the bottom for the sake of keeping moving forward. So I have 1. Nature's Abundance. And that's not the card I'm looking for. Am I? Is that not the card I'm looking for? It is a triangle. And the trowel needs links. Okay. So I draw the top card. Hey, I get an Orland Thumper, which I already had one, and I used it for the link. So that being said, I have an option to use my Carbon Forged Trowel to try and strike this. Every 2 successes is a damage. I have a fitness of 2. This would be 3. And that would get me, if I'm lucky, I could get a +1 and get halfway there. I don't like the odds, but I don't have much of an option here. So I'm going to try. There's 2. Spin my other link on my Orland Thumper for 3. So I have 3. Let's see what the test gives me. -1. So I deal a damage to the anthill. At least I didn't fail. That could have been worse. Oh, geez. As my good friend Goats would say, reading is fundamental, kids. One with nature says reduce the presence of each card. No, that doesn't work. Never mind. It's still an obstacle. Its presence is already 0. So reading is fundamental, but I just need a way to get around this damn anthill. I can't use quiet. I've grown reliant on quiet. So for those following at home, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards left in my deck. Again, when your deck runs out, the day is over. So I have spent the majority of this day just trying to get to literally one space on the map over, getting through this grassland. It's not been very easy. I've just been running into these anthills are just really stopping me. Readying everything, restarting my turn here. Refresh. This comes off. I take a fatigue because it's raining. It's grassy. My poor guy Xavier is just like struggle bussing through this. Draw a card. Another Gauze Blade. I feel like I already had a Gauze Blade. I have one out. I thought I already. Did I not? Oh, no, I did. I put this on the bottom. So now I'm starting to see the same stuff. The cards I need are probably in my fatigue deck. Crap. All right, well, there's that. We have 2 links on the Gauze Blade. So at least that'll help me with that. Let me draw the card for the area here. It's another Artelope, which, again, I'm fine with. Because the first thing I'm going to do is have Quiet kill it, exhaust this, exhaust my Guardian card to make its presence 0, and then Quiet kills it. All right, we're going to straight up try to kill this thing. So there's 2. Gauze Blade is 2 more. So if I'm successful, that'll be 2 more damage. I need 3. I don't have any more links out, so this is the best I can do. Let's see what happens. Oh my God. -2. -2. So I deal 1 damage to it. Sunshine, so this comes off. And I take another fatigue. I am just having it rough, brother. Having it rough. But that's kind of the point of this game. Like, especially as a solo play, it is rough. I know that I've had a couple times that my good friend Blue has berated me for not playing 2 characters in this game, but with the limited space that I have and I'm recording, I really wouldn't have space for 2 characters. I mean, I am making progress. It's just very slow. I'm trudging through the fields here. I would be having a much worse time if I did not have quiet, so I'm very glad that I listened to chat and did not choose violence against quiet. Instead, I befriended her, and she's able to just murder most animals that get in my way. Unfortunately, she is adverse to attacking anthills. All right, this anthill's presence is 2 currently because it has 2 damage on it. It needs 2 more damage to kill it. Do I want to remember my training? I feel like I'm going through my deck too fast, so let's not do that. I know this is kind of like wash, rinse, repeat over and over and over again. Reset. I take another fatigue from the rainstorm. Everything ready is I draw a card. I got a persuasive, which gives me another link. And if I'm successful, I can take a fatigue to put this back in my hand. So that's my good fighting card, essentially. Let's see what the top of the round gives me. It's another blood beckoned Velix. It smells the wound I have on my person. So it does have ambush. So I lose another card. My day is getting long. I may just get to the next area and not even get to talk to the guy. So that's probably why they gave me 4 days to do it. Unfortunately, I kind of squandered one of those days wandering off and killing the mulcher. All right, I'll activate my Guardian card to lower its presence to 0, and then have Quiet kill that. And then I will full on attack it again. I'm slowly but surely going to take this out. So there's 3. I need 4. If I can get a +1, I can get rid of this anthill and be done with it. I don't get that. I get 3. Every 2 is a damage, so that's my 3rd damage on it. And mountain, the only thing that happens with that is there's the piggy out there. That's not the case. So I'm gonna have to reset one more time. I believe in myself. I have 3 cards left. I'm going to be so frustrated if that's how this ends. If I don't actually get out of the plains, I just get stuck dealing with these harvester anthills. That is annoying. All right, 2. This falls off. I take a fatigue, and this flips over. This readies. I draw a card, so I have 1 more turn. 1 with nature. Reduce the presence of each card. Yep. That helps me none. So I can't go full tilt, because if I do, I won't be able to try and leave, which I'm already going to have a problem with. I see a path. I'll walk you through it here. If I deal 1 more damage to this harvester ant, before I do that, I need to see what pops out of the grasslands. It's another morning root, which is not bad. It doesn't bother me really. It's got a 0 presence. All right, so if I can deal 1 more damage to this anthill using a fitness, I'll have 1 more fitness left to put the last token on the location, and I can move to the next one, and then my day will be over. So I will have spent this entire session literally just running through the grasslands. This will probably be a 2-day video versus a 1. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So we will try. Well, no, I don't want to do that, because if I was going to say I was successful with the persuasive, and I could put that back in my back in my hand, but that requires me to spend a fatigue, and I'm down to my last card. So when you go to draw your last card, if you can't, you're done. The day is over. The sun goes down. And I do not want that to happen. I want to get to this place. So here's my 1. I have nothing else to offer it. So, heart of the cards. I need a +1 on this card. Finally, something goes my way. +1. I get it. That's 2. I deal the last damage to this damn anthill. Get rid of it. All right. Could not have planned it better, but you saw me shuffle the cards. All right. So the last thing I need to do is traverse, which is fitness and a compass. And I have compass for days. And I'm almost to the point where I'm like, I'm going to throw all my compasses at it because I don't want to deal with not being able to do this. I don't want to draw a -2. I need only 1, so 1 should do. Don't be crazy, Bear. Don't be crazy. Hello, Cat. Welcome to the group. All right, so I've got 3 for this test. I need 1. So as long as this isn't a -3, which I know it can't be, huzzah. So I'm able to put the last token on this. So I'm at 4 of 4. I'm able to get out of the damn grasslands. That's it. I'm ending my turn. I reset travel, so I will move this and I will travel, which will allow me to draw this card. So I end my day walking up to the Spire. So at this point, I'm going to record 2 days because that was a pretty short video and it wasn't action packed. So we shall get the Spire card out of the box. This all will go back, and I'll start my day at the Spire. Because as soon as I draw Nature's Abundance, it would reset everything. So, sun sets, I set up camp, and then the next morning, I walk out of the grasslands into the next area, which I'll see what that area is going to be. Oh, that bulge should go somewhere in there. We'll just shuffle it in there real quick. Not at the top, not at the bottom. All right, let's look and see what this region is for the Spire. Part of me is hoping that it is not grasslands. Oh, geez. Well, it's not grasslands. And, excuse me, I just realized I did that wrong. That entire thing was wrong. So if I was going north, I should have had grasslands. If I was heading to the Spire, I should have had Lakeshore. So, Lakeshore it is. So we'll take these away. Lakeshore is a much nicer place. It has some issues in and of itself, but nothing like the grasslands. So we will put this back in the box. Grasslands. And it is indeed Lakeshore. Which, the worst thing we have there are those cat otter things. We're going to put Kobo's Market back in the box. And we're going to pull out the Spire. Oh, wait. the Spire is like an actual place. It's not just a known, it has its own set of cards. I forgot. This is like a place of there it is, the Spire. And it has a little reading section. That's exciting. All right, so we have the Lakeshore cards. We have the Spire cards, which I'm not going to look at. And I'm going to shuffle them together and then manually shuffle them so that they are somewhat mixed up. The good news that I've just now remembered is that I need to mark on our card, on our adventure sheet, that day 7 is over and we're now on day 8, which gets me out of this damn rainstorm. It has been an issue the entire time, and we're back to a perfect day, which is great. Makes it much easier. So there will be some cloud coverage. Perfect day for today and tomorrow, and then rain again. Oh, jeez. It tells you all the weather that's coming up. So we got perfect day for the next 2 days. We got downpour for 3 days, howling wind, downpour, howling wind. Wow, that's bad. Not good at all. Not good. All right. We're going to definitely need this book because we're going to be reading the starting area for The Spire. The Spire is a story book number 5. Rising out of an island in the middle of the Silver Fen, the first thing you spot is the landmark that gives the town its name. A massive gray spire at the center of the island towers over the cottages, workshops, and trade halls that make up the rest of the town. As impressive as it is, you know that it is but a protrusion of an ancient archaeology that extends deep into the roots of the valley. Cool. We're going to need that, and so I'm going to leave it up here. So, for setup, do not add the Spire set to the path deck. Boom, boom, ba-doom. Shuffle it separately and set it face down next to the path deck. This is the Spire deck. All right, so I need to go back and pull all those out. I tried. I did. It didn't work. I tried to do the right thing. I don't remember who I'm supposed to talk to, so I feel bad. I'm gonna shuffle these. I was trying to do the right thing, and it's not right. And then I'm gonna put the Spire deck, which I'm gonna shuffle, even though I don't know anything about anything. I wish I could remember. Did I write it on? I know I was supposed to write it. Did I actually write it? Because nope, I just wrote Journey to the Spire. So, it says attached to the, arrive at the attached location, 1.5. It says from there, arriving at the Spire, go to 1.08. At the end of your travels, the tower at the center of the spire has never looked more welcoming. And you telling me you couldn't shake the haunted look on Calypso's face when she saw those corpses, and ever since that day, you felt a presence like a patient predator lurking in the underbrush, hounding your every step. Gain the Watcher and the Brush mission and complete the Journey Spire mission. All right, so that's good. So I put this back. Again, if I had read what the mission was, I would have known that I read that first. Watcher and the Brush. You have felt a lurking presence following you since your discovery of the strange biomeld corpses. It generally stays out of sight, so you are going to have to confront it to figure out what it wants. Path Deck Assembly. Add the mysterious Verdesian to the Path Deck. To clear this quest, I need to clear the mysterious Verdesian with tokens. So, aka, don't murder it. Which we all know. That's kind of what my specialty is getting my cat to murder things for me. So, before I put that back, we go to the general section of this. I think that is, yeah, that's quiet. I don't need her because she has been removed from the deck. Mysterious Verdesian. I don't see it. Did I leave a card there? No? I'm going to take a gander real quick here. No? Where could this be? Path cards general, maybe? Mysterious Verdesian. There we go. It was in the Path cards general. I am not going to read anything about this, but I'm going to show you folks, fine folks of the finest fine, what it looks like. It looks like some type of plant thing, which is kind of cool. It's got frills and, yeah, not what I was expecting. I was expecting whatever the hell Calypso told me about with the claws and all that. So this is what it is. So I'm shuffling that into the Path deck, which is being shuffled. I'm doing that here. Let me show you that I'm shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. I think I probably I'm going to turn these upside down so that are sideways, so I know that those are the Spire deck. All right. All right, so arrival setup. Draw one path card. As the lead. And again, we're going to need this, so I'm going to keep this book handy because I have a feeling that we're going to need it. All right, let's get this second day of our adventure started. We move that over there. I'm shuffling my deck. I think I already did. My wound comes off because I did sleep. All right, and then the Spire says fitness, and then a compass. Enter 2. It says enter the bustling town of the Spire to move your marker to this location and draw 1 card from the Spire deck. When you would draw 1 path card, if you're so it just essentially lets you put your ranger token onto the Spire. Therefore, you're drawing only from the Spire deck, not from the main deck. So that's good. I think that's nice because it's a pain in the butt when like you're trying to do things with a town and instead you got to keep messing with the surroundings. I feel like the town should be a little more protected. So that works good. Let's draw a starting hand. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We got a bold, carbon forged trowel, intention translator, persuasive favorite gear, and nature's abundance. So we know that to get this quest done, we have to not murder the creepy plant thing that's wandering out in the wilderness outside town. My initial mission was to come here and talk to somebody, but now this thing says I need to talk to this thing that's been following me. So do I go into town and look for the elder that I'm supposed to be trying to find, or do I wander around outside and look for this plant thing? Thoughts? Feel free to fill me in what you want. I'm going to take my first turn. I draw before I start. I draw here. It's a romping lutrinol. Pops up. It has ambush, so it immediately fatigues me. Off to a great start already. Off to a great start already. All right, so my first action is going to be to equip the intention translator. And then my second action is going to be to equip the carbon forged trowel. I'm not doing a lot of anything else, appears like. So out of my 5 equipment slots, I've now used 4 of them. So I have 1 left. That's 10. I have 1 left. And then my third action, I'm going to spend my spirit and put favorite gear on the intention translator because it seems like it might need to be able, like, I'm going to need it, and using it would be good. So every time I use a token, I get to soothe the fatigue. There's 3 tokens on the intention translator. So I've really just kind of blown through my hand. Out of the 6 cards I drew, 3 of them have already been played. I need to find quiet because I don't really want to fight this romping lutrinol with a trowel. It's my last ditch effort. I'd like to have some type of weapon, but I prefer not to fight it. So I'm going to use my last focus for my first test of the second day we're doing today. Boom. 0, that's fine. We have mountain on the card, so we'll go from top to bottom. If this is a test that's adding tokens, then add 1 additional token. It is not. If there's an active predator, other than this one, nope, there's not. So nothing happens. I get 1, so I look at the top card of my deck. It's familiar ground. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my cat, so I'll put it on the bottom and draw a card. And I drew into Orland Thumper, which is not a bad card. It's just not the best. And probably if when I do purge some stuff, that might be the card I purge. Because it is seen to, now that I have quiet, it kind of like seems like she's filling the role much better. All right. I'm going to make this Romping Lutrinel's presence 0. And kind of used up all my actions here. I guess I can try and... No, that's fine. So I'll end my turn. I don't have anything on the travel thing, so the next one is refresh. I refresh all my tokens, refresh my cards, refresh any bad guys. And then I draw a card. Astute. Triangles, which again is not bad. Let's see. And then I draw a card. It's another Romping Lutrinel. This is looking bad. So yeah, I will remember my training as my first action. Oh, it's ambush, so I take a thing there. Oh, so I have cloud tokens on this. So I'm removing a cloud token, and when that happens, it flips over. Well, I guess I will try and go through my deck pretty good with remember my training. It's triangles. I'll use astute because I really want to get, so that's 4. Nothing bad. My 4 stays there. So I get to look at 4 cards, but it has a sun symbol. It says, if there's another Romping Lutrinel in play, it frolics among the reeds. Move it within reach. So it's already within reach, so nothing bad happens. So these two cat otter things are just playing with each other, which is fine as long as I don't get a bad one where they attack me. So 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. None of these are the item that I want. Though there were 2. There are 2 cards that have hearts on them, which hearts are not my strongest suit. To be honest, I really don't feel like any of my suits are strong. So I'm gonna hope for quiet. That's my hope here. Nope, another Orland Thumper. So I have a choice here. I can try to murder one of these Romping Lutrinels, which might not be a bad idea because I don't want them to gang up on me. I would need link test. I have 2. I would need a 4 to outright kill it. So let's look at that. So there's 2. I have 2 Orland Thumpers, so that would be 4. And then I could use my persuasive to be 5. And then if I was successful, I can pull that back. So I'm going to do that. So I have 5 successes without trying yet. Pull a card. 6 successes. But the bad thing also happens. So top to bottom, it says, if there is another active Romping Lutrinel, exhaust each of them and this being and suffer an injury. So when you suffer an injury, it gets rid of all your cards there, which thankfully none of them were quiet. And then I kill one of the Romping Lutrinels. So we're going to put our discard up there because there's 2 separate piles over there. So that was a lot of work to kill one of them. The other one attacked me, so I'm fighting with this trowel and stabbing to death one of the Romping Lutrinels. They did attack me back. They defended themselves. That makes sense. But I'm doing all right. I'm not doing great, but I'm doing all right. Okay, I'm out of actions for that. I can try and connect with this thing, but again, I'd rather use my intention translator for things that are useful. So we'll reset my turn, which takes away another one of these. It resets these. I don't have anything on the travel token thing. So I just got to get rid of these Romping Lutrinels, essentially. This readies. I draw. All right, quiet. Boom. That's what I wanted. Let's draw from another here. Fresh blue kelpweed. It's a feature, flora, water. So essentially, it's just a plant that I can wrap around wounds and stuff to heal myself. So it's not a bad plant. I'm fine with that. First action, I'm going to equip Quiet. Quiet comes out. Second, I'm going to I'm going to, don't sue me, Matt, Wizards of the Coast. I'm going to turn this Romping Luchinel's presence to 0 with my card, and then Quiet's going to murder it, because I ain't dealing with them things. Focus. Wrap 2. The pungent leaves around a wound to add 1 damage to this and heal 1 injury from a ranger. I think I'll do that. So it's a triangle. There's 1. Heck, I'll do both of them, 2. And I'll do Nature's Abundance. That's 3. I need a 2. I got 3. Negative thing. There's no negative thing cards. So I deal a damage to this plant, but I take it and wrap the thing around me, and I lose my damage. So I'm good. Again, you need 3 damage. If you get 3 damage, you have to end your day. So just staving off that, we're going to I guess reset. So I'm kind of going through this deck. Is there a way to? I was looking to see if there's a way to mill through the environment deck, but that's not the case. So you just got to keep going through it. Again, I'm trying to figure out, do I want to go into the Spire and try and talk to the guy I need to talk to, or do I want to talk to this plant thing that's wandering around outside? Part of me is like, I want to go inside the Spire, but I feel like I'm going to get a million side quests, and it's like, do I want to progress the main quest that I'm on, or do I want to get a couple side quests? Because I do have a couple days till I needed to talk to that guy. I think I need to talk to that guy. So that's my goal next turn, will be to go inside the Spire. That being said, that may change if I draw something crazy here, but probably I'll be trying to go inside the Spire. Move my tokens back. I don't have enough to traverse. Draw a card. Another intention translator, which is not a bad thing if I need to connect with that plant being. The last token comes off, and it says, so next turn I will flip that. All right, let's see what we get. We get Tidewater Muggets, the little clams. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Perfect. So I'm going to try to enter the Spire. It is a compass and fitness to enter. So fitness, compass. So we got a 3. Let's test 3. I'm glad I added that card. So my 3 goes down to 2. I need a 2 success. Whew, man. I got 1 card left in my hand. I have no cards for fatigue. Struggle bussing over here, but we're going to make this work. So now it says I get to put my player token on this card. So instead of drawing a path card, I will draw from this deck. And when I put that on there, I draw a card from that deck. A hearty brew, feature, structure. It looks like an inn, which is kind of cool. Let's read what it says. 57. I have now entered the little town here. A hearty brew. The 2-story inn and tavern is built as a hollow square with rooms opening up onto an open courtyard. Here you see guests sitting in wooden chairs and plates of food and flagons of spirits. most clustered around a flickering bonfire of multicolored flame. As you move closer, you realize that the fire is actually a cunningly crafted sculpture of shards of amber and crimson, bright ochre kinetic glass. It is lit from beneath, and the sparkling reflection dances across the guest's face even as they somehow bathe them in soothing, comforting heat. You hear the murmuring of a dozen different conversations as you walk through the tavern. Calypso once told you that the news spread faster in places like a hearty brew than anywhere else in the valley. You imagine that if you needed to find someone's location, asking around here would be a good way to start. The question is, I don't remember who I'm trying to find. So, the location, the Hearty Brew, has Spirit and Heart share some stories with the locals to search the valley set for any one card and attach it face down to the location. After you travel, put the attached card into play. Oh, so it lets me just find who I'm looking for, and then when I move to the next location, they'll be there. Oh, cool. Unfortunately, the person I need to find is here in this town, in the Spire. So, all right, we're going to. Oh, that doesn't do anything for me. So I just really need to. I guess I can use my last one to traverse and just get ready to leave when it's time to leave. Traverse and compass. I don't have any compasses. So one. Traverse. So I put one token on there. So I am preparing to leave just because I want to use my tokens. I'll remember my training just so that I'm doing something. +1. Sunshine. If there is an exhausted predator, ready it and exhaust this being. No? Okay. Let's shuffle this deck. I get to scout my deck for one card. So look at the top card, then put it on the top or bottom and draw a card. Gauze Blade. I don't think I'm going to be fighting much, so I'm going to put this on the bottom and hope that I draw something that's a little more peaceable, aka something with some hearts. Nature's Abundance. So no, it has a triangle, but it's not a bad card. I'll end my turn. I've ready everything. I don't have enough to traverse. I draw a card. Persuasive, so another link card. And then I draw from this deck. Elda Mora Orlin. 60. Let's see what this starting is. All right. Elder Orlin looks up at you. She looks you up and down and snorts gruffly. If I were you, if you were a piece of wrought carbon, I think I'd stick you back in the forge until you were properly tempered. But you are wearing a ranger cloak, I suppose. What's your business around the Spire? Man, all these people are just kind of like judging me a little bit here. She's an older looking lady. Let's put her on the card thing so y'all can see her. So I got to talk to her it says, clear Elder Orlin with tokens to ask her if she needs help around the Spire. All right, well, she is directly in front of me. I've kind of gotten a little bit out of control with my play area here. See, I disagree with that because she would see me with this big ass cat next to me and be like, "That's a bad looking motherfucker." But that's neither here nor there. All right. Now I have the intention translator, which allows me to connect with people a little more efficiently. She requires 3, so that would be 1. The intention translator would be 2, and if I could get, I don't want to spend my heart. So that would give me 2 out of the 3 that I need on her. If I wanted to find out more what she needs. But again, I don't really like the way she talked to me, but I'm going to try and connect with her. So that's 2. I need 3 to clear her just straight up. I can, hold on, before I do that, I can focus and triangle, which I have some triangles, to listen to the wisdom of the elders, to return a moment from your hand to your collection, to choose a starting moment from your collection. So it lets me change out my deck. No, I'll just connect with her. I'm not trying to, I like my deck the way it is. So there's that, and who knows, maybe I'll get a +1 on this test. I did. So that's 3. And I can clear her. I used my intention translator to soothe her ornery self. So when I clear her, it goes back to 60. I don't meet any of the requirements for this. So 60.6. As you ask a few questions about Talon's work. Hold on. That is not correct. 60. All right, so 60.4, sorry. Mora glances skyward. Spire's a big place. Plenty of people need help. But right now, I'm most worried about that giant raptor, Umbra. The blighter may fly all over the valley, but she likes perching on top of the spire, then swooping down to snatch up her prey. Last year, it was old Harley Jepson. I don't want to see that happen again. Rangers choose. Here we go, friends. Agree to help. Gain the Lure Umbra mission. Reminder, search the valley set for the Umbra and attach her face down to the mission card. You may choose this option only if you don't have another lure or confront mission. And then I discard her. Or I can tell her, not today, and I can discard Elder Orlin. Each ranger soothes 2 fatigue. So I think I would vote for agreeing to help, because last time I helped with one of these apex predators, I got quiet. So if I get like a whole Pokemon thing going on, I think that'd be cool. So I'm going to vote agree to help. If you disagree, do it now. But I think that's what I'm going to do. It says, search the valley set for Umbra and attach her face down to the mission card. So I'll have to update that, and then we'll pull this over here. Let's turn this card up so I know where to go. Trying not to read. There she is, Umbra. So I'll show you the picture of her. Yep, she's a big bird. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? I don't know why I put that down there. It stays up here. All right. So I'm attaching that to the quest, which I did not grab because I'm forgetful. Mission. So again, I'm doing another lore quest. All right, I guess I should turn towards the camera. Lore. Lore Umbra. So it says, locate one of the local mega predators by finding prey to lure it out. When a prey is cleared, you can set it aside instead of discarding it. So I need 5 or more total presents of prey set aside. So again, I got to collect small amounts of animals and prey to lure this mega predator out. We did it with quiet. We got to do it again. She is cleared. Boom. Well, I really just I'm looking for this guy. So I'll end my turn. Again, I don't have enough there. I draw into familiar ground, which is fine. And then I draw a card. So I'm kind of just going through this area here. Arcology Threshold. So it says, spirit and links to brave the gloomy depths beneath the spire. To move your token here to the, if you fail, while you're here on this, prevent all fatigue you would suffer from weather. And then it's going into this place here, essentially. So it's another building that I can go into, and if I clear it, I read something. But let's read 58 and see what that says. "58. Enters play. Most everyone in the valley, and certainly everyone in the spire, is familiar with the arcology, but most of them think of the upper levels that have become the basement and the power generation stations of the spire. You head past the water turbines and the enclosed river docks, down into a level below the silver fin. Here the air is a bit damp, but you find yourself in a brightly lit chamber full of cabinets and pedestals. Artifacts are scattered throughout the space, each with a neat label identifying them. Most seem to be from the Estesians, some even older, from the decades before the guide led people to the beginning of the generational projects. A mousy young woman with large glowing glasses scurries up and introduces herself as Christu Meeks. If you're looking, if you're looking for Celerio, she says, he's deeper in the arcology's tunnels. She points to a series of vaulted entrances leading off from the chamber. Each seems darker and more oppressive than the last. Christu sees your hesitation. Don't worry, she says. It should be safe. We haven't seen anything dangerous in the upper passages for months now. So I can brave those deeper areas. Or I can stick to the job that I'm doing. I think that's what I'll do. Again, there was another location that I saw at the other lake. So there are places you can go deeper and deeper in this valley, but I'm sticking to the job that I have. I'm not trying to go all over the place. I got work to do. I wish there was a way I could go through this faster because I would like to find them, the person I'm looking for. And I really would like to get out of here and go find that plant thing. But I think that'll be the next session. So I'll end my turn. I'm just milling through this deck so I can find this person. That's really all I'm doing. Draw a card. Safeguard. It has 2 hearts, which is great because I think I'm going to have to talk to this guy. And then Tolan Lang, Sculptor. Being, human, villager, friendly, 61. I shall put him on the screen while I'm reading it. Sounds like somebody just came home. 61. That's my good dog Pancake letting us know. If you've, nope, I haven't done that. 61.2. The glow alerts you to Talon Lang's presence. Presence before you actually find him, crouched near a heavy bag and rounded hemispherical pedestal. Above the pedestal, you see a whirling rainbow mass of sparkling shards of glass. Even as you watch, Talon reaches into the bag while wearing a heavy glove and hauls out another handful of shards, carefully casting them into the air. You see the brief flash of an otherwise invisible suspensor field, and the shards join the larger cloud. Talon thinks for a moment, then uses a pole to nudge and push the material into a new form. You've heard of kinetic glass before, but this is the first time you've seen it used in such quantity. Talon looks at you as you approach and waves. He starts chatting with you as he continues to sculpt. So I can clear him to ask him about the sculpture. And then his tray's over here. He's friendly, spirit, plus links to distract the local wildlife with Talon's lifelike kinetic glass sculpture to exhaust a being for every 2 effort. And then he just requires 3 to clear. Listen, homie, I ain't trying to do all that. I'm looking for somebody, and you ain't him. So I pass my turn. I know I'm milling through this pretty quickly. That's the intention. I get my second copy of Quiet. Top of the round, I pull from here. Carbon Forge. 56. It looks like a blacksmithing area. So yeah, this lets me fabricate a new item. And that is 56. 56. The Carbon Forge. Even outside the compound, you hear the muted roar of the Carbon Forge and the smell of the sharp tang of ozone. Once beyond the wall, you can see the squat, bulbous shape of the forge itself, a gray kiln larger than 3 wagons. As you watch, a trio of sweating artificers haul a series of heavy curved beams out of the forge's mouth. Frames for a roof. Another rushes forward to shovel graphite shards into the small hatch in its side. Blue sparks flicker within it, and your hair stands on end as the forge begins to reform the graphite into nano-assembled carbon items. So yeah, I'm able to put something in it and turn it into another card from the base set if I wanted to change my deck. Which I appreciate that there's a lot of ways to do that, but since I tried to make my deck pretty rounded, and at some point I'm going to add in the expansions, so that might be a good way for the story to allow me to get some of those new cards in my deck without cheating. So again, I end my turn. There's only 1 card left, of course. The person I'm looking for is at the bottom of this deck. So I draw a card, which is another Gauze Blade. And then the top of the round, I'm thinking that I have failed somewhere. I need to look at something real quick. $16.2. I'm going to double check myself because I don't trust that I'm doing something right. Trying to see here. Trying not to read anything I'm not supposed to. I think it's one of the main quests, so it should be towards the front. Elder Orlin. Oh, isn't that who I just talked to? Oh, I've already talked to the person I need to. Well, then she didn't tell me what I wanted. 60. I'm over here looking for the person I've already talked to. Oh, so I needed to talk to her, and she was like, go kill that bird. That's not what I needed, Orland. I'm trying to talk to you about these weird animals. The heck? I guess I really needed to talk to the plant guy first. Well, my day is, I'm going to stop us here because I feel like I'm in the town. This is a good place to stop. And then the next session, I'll leave town and I'll go and clear out some of this stuff. So I appreciate everybody tuning in, keeping me company. And I was able to get to the Spire and start this day off. Yeah. So that I have made a wrong decision with this portion of it. So I will, so the next day I'll go back out and wander into it. All right. Well, this has been Friendly Neighborhood Gamers solo board game Friday. We're playing Earthborne Rangers and we're playing the Lore of the Valley. I'm your host, Bear, as always. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And again, as always, keep those dice rolling.